What can we expect from your set, dude?
Shoot. So I'm with my band. Got a bassist and a drummer. And then I think so D-Phrase is the bassist, but he's much more than that. He's one of my good friends and produced pretty much all of Cool. I think 5 out of the 7 songs. So him and me work real closely, and then Sam Gelston's my drummer, and he's great and brings a lot of energy. But what can you expect? I've been playing a decent amount of shows, sort of in all different like capacities. Like I did like a coffee shop show, and then on Halloween I did a show with my band in Worcester. But for this one, I want to try out a couple of new songs, so I'm pretty stoked on that. I think what's crazy, so I almost, when I'm making stuff, I kind of like pop my head out at the end, and then I'm like, what do I have? So I don't know really always if it's good or not. I know what I feel, but D-Phrase a couple of days ago was like, dude, I think all 6 of these songs are better than any songs on Cool. So like,
wow, dude.
Yeah, and he's pretty, he's the same way. Like he doesn't gas his own stuff up, but he really, was about it, and it made me be like, okay, we might have something coming up for the spring or summer,
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's really probably motivating for you as well.
It is, because I'm just like psychotic in the sense that I want every album to be better than the last, which isn't a great mindset, but it does help push me in ways like, to get excited. So, yeah.
So you had a show in Somerville, and that's how I found you. Is you sold like over 200 tickets for the show.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was wild. It was Crystal Ballroom, and I just know like, so I was kind of hitting above my weight a little bit because that's a venue that like signed artists tour and come to. And it's coming up as a great venue, and got an opportunity and just ran with it. But I was like, I can't, like, I don't want to like sell 50 tickets to this, and that would just be bad. This dude's taking a chance on me. Alex, he's such a good guy. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna just go outside like with a speaker and flyers, like the old school way, and just hand out flyers, like play my music. So I was playing my music outside Davis Square, like just sitting there, like with a speaker just loud as hell. Like people were like, what is going on? But people stopped, and like a ton of people I saw outside Davis Square and outside Harvard Square and Central Square were at the show. So it was kind of a cool little test on like, does physical old school stuff still work,
Dude, I mean, honestly, like, yeah. And that's, I'm finding that as well. Just the face-to-face interactions with people is really what sells. And that's amazing that you did that, because, you're an artist at the end of the day. Like, that's your main role. Yeah. But to, like, kind of try on some other pants, that's sick. That's no easy feat.
It was I'm glad it was rewarding, because it was exhausting. Like, I was in tech for a while, then I've left tech for a little bit, and I was working at a coffee shop in Cambridge. So I would like I'd play my music for hours, hand out these flyers, then just go straight on the red line to this coffee shop. Like, it was the first time I felt like I was like really hustling in that way.
Yeah.
Like, how you hear like artists talk about it, like, oh, I was, busking and whatnot. Like, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, dude, that's the blueprint, man. That's the OG stuff there. I think that's super sick, and I think it's only going to get better for you.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I started one TikTok, and then the one that you follow, it's my second one. I just like started a new one. And the first post I did like went, viral a little bit, and it was for the song Cool. And in the comments, like a few people were like, hey, you sound like this, you sound like that, you sound like MGMT. That's one I got a lot. And then another one I got was, you sound like Wallows. So I didn't actually know of Wallows. And I looked them up that day. I remember I was like, oh, they're cool. Moved on. Now, that was in April of this past year. Now, fast forward to the show was in June, the one we've been talking about. This is so crazy. Like, I was showing up to band rehearsal in Brighton at Ugly Duck, where D-Phrase owns it, and we practice there. I show up, and at Roadrunner, there's just like a line around the block, like one of the biggest lines I've seen outside of Roadrunner. So I'm like, and I park, jump out, some girl's walking by, I'm just like, hey, who's playing? She's like, Wallows. And I'm like, oh my God. So I called DeFraze and I was like, hey, like tell Sam, and we had a guitarist playing too, tell Sam and Antonio, like, wait a minute, we got to do some stuff. And I was like, come downstairs. So I grabbed the speaker, we printed out 100 flyers, and we just walked around the block like as they were. And I had no clue what was going to happen. I was guessing they were just going to be like, yo, who is, like, and this, all it took was this one person came up and grabbed the flyer, and then they just started flocking, like, and
that's so sick.
we ran out of 100 flyers in 10 minutes, and then we went back, printed another 100, ran out of 100. We went through 250. And it was wild because it was like seeing TikTok and traditional marketing like bounce off each other.
Yeah.
And shout out to Wallows because they helped me sell out the show. Yeah.
That is so fucking cool, dude. I'm taking notes.
I'll also say that's something we talk about all the time about you is like, did you have this hustle in you, which I think is just so sick. And it's like,
thank you, man.
I don't know. It's cool.
You got it, right? Like, you know, if there's no label involved.
I know. I mean, and that's the whole point is you hustle so that, you know, one day, I mean, you'll always be hustling, but you don't have to hustle in the capacity that you're hustling now.